Wawski Mikanakwe Dishnakas, Dodo Moose. I'm here today in the beautiful park of Kenora, and I want to welcome everyone to Kokum Smoke Signals. And I have a special guest here, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Bonjour, nangu kap meo na kwa na dishnakas bishututem asapish kusewagang nandunji. My name is Chrissy Isaacs. My Anishinaabe name is Carried by the Stars, and I'm from the Lynx clan.
Welcome, Miigwech. Welcome. So Chrissy, can you tell us a little bit about your project? That you have some beautiful models that we're going to be taking pictures of. But could you just tell us a little bit about your story and how it came about?
Yeah. So this project that I'm working on is called Nita Migwe, and it came to be, I guess, inspired by my own life, the things that I had to face as an Indigenous woman. I like to share that, like, I come from many different walks of life, and I've been in like abusive relationships. I was on the streets as a youth, and there was a lot of things, like situations where I could have been a missing or murdered Indigenous woman. And I have two daughters that I wanted to I guess, guide them in a different path of life. So I changed my life. I got involved in ceremonies. I started going to powwows, and I wanted to show them a different way of life, I guess. And then so in my healing journey, in the ceremonies, I started to hear stories about where we came from. And one of the stories is about how we come from the stars. And when just like the babies, they have the soft spot on the top of their heads. That's what the earth had when the earth was very new, and we called that hole in the sky. And so the story goes that Sky Woman, Kijikukwe, she looked through the hole in the sky, and she's seen this very beautiful, beautiful place. And she wanted to come here. This is where she wanted to live. And so she went through that hole in the sky, and she came falling down. And so the eagle was the one who first spotted her falling, and he said, "Oh wow, look at that beautiful, beautiful creature. Who is she?" And then so he went to go try to help her because she was falling. He didn't want her to fall hard. And all the other birds seen her, so they all started to fly at her. And they all helped her, all the birds, they all helped her so that she wouldn't fall hard. And then so they looked around, and they asked the turtle if they could put her on his back. So that's where they laid her, was on the turtle's back. And so all the animals, they were all admiring this very beautiful woman that came from the hole in the sky. And they wanted to help her, so they started taking turns going down into the water to try and get some earth for her to be able to live on. They needed a place for her to live, but a lot of them sacrificed their lives to try and get that dirt. And the muskrat was the last one to try. So that muskrat, he went down, and he was able to get some dirt, and he brought it up, and all the other muskrats started to dive down and to get that earth and put it on the turtle's back. And as they were doing that, all the other animals, they started to help. Like the beavers started using their tails to pat down the earth and so on. And then that story really stayed with me because I had to like look back at where I came from. I was really struggling with like who I was and where I came from, and I found that, you know, learning about where my parents came from, what happened with them, and my grandparents, and so on, my community, and like Treaty 3, and, you know, the history of our people, all the way to the creation story. And I feel like that's where I found my identity and my healing. And so this project, I kept seeing, you know, we see all the time, you know, that there's another woman missing, or, you know, they found another Indigenous woman, or, you know, and it really like it really affected me. Like, why is this going on, you know? And so I wanted to do something to help educate, not educate, but I guess to help empower our women, especially the young girls, you know, to start to try and reach them while they're young, you know, to show them the power that they have as women, and to give them teachings like the water teachings, the 13 grandmother moons, to learn about, you know, the berry fast. And I thought about these dresses, to do it in a way that where they can actually be in these dresses, where they can feel the power that they have, you know, wearing their colors, wearing like a buckskin dress, to feel the power of that paint on their faces, and for them to see how beautiful and strong they are, and for them to show the world, to show society, you know, that we're not just these vulnerable women, that we're powerful and we're beautiful and we're resilient. And so that's where the idea came from. Yeah.
So you have how many dresses are you going to be making?
My goal is to have over 100 dresses. The first dresses that we've been working on are buckskin dresses, and those dresses are going to represent the 7 sisters. And then we're going to do a line for Manituikwe, that's like for the water teachings. And then we're going to do 13 grandmother moon dresses. And I actually have a friend who's working on a cloak of the universe.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be like a big cloak that's going to reveal Kijiguukwe. And we're going to do other lines, you know, that will have the women's teachings.
Nice.
Yeah, and I counted like over 100 dresses.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that it will become a big show where, like, you know, it travels, and that you know, girls and women will participate in the show, and to be used as a teaching tool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yesterday we did a fashion show, and a lot of the young ladies were saying how they felt, how proud they were, you know, and how they never been exposed to a lot of these teachings, and, you know, and to this pride that they felt about themselves, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I think you're doing a fabulous job, right? You know, dress the people, right? That's what I say. So one of the questions I'd really like to ask you is, so far you've made 4 buckskin dresses? Yep. Oh, yeah. So So maybe you could start explaining that about the 4 that you have already started.
Yeah, so the first one that we made is Kijigukwe. And it's a white buckskin dress. And the other 3 were made from other women. So there was the one that we made with you ladies, Mikinaki Kwe. So
Yeah.
what we're doing is we're getting groups of women to make the dresses, to create them and name them, to put that good woman energy into those dresses, to sit around and heal together, while we're making these dresses. Mm-hmm. And then the other one of them is called Falling Feather, made by Melissa Bunting, and she made that and named it after one of the girls in my community. And then another one was made by the ladies in my community, and that one is named after another young girl in my community, and her name is Patience.
Oh wow. Yeah. I met Patience yesterday. Yeah.
So they're I leave it up to the women to name like the dresses, and I feel like that's a part of the healing together, right? And empowering each other is to sit and talk and sew together.
Yeah. Like the olden days, right? Yeah. And lots of laughter, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And lots of teaching for each other. Yeah. So, all right. So once again, I want to welcome everybody that's is at Kokum's Smoke Signals, and I'm with Chrissy here, and so we'll be right back. Bonjour, Wapski Mekanekwe Dishnakas, Dodo Moose. I'd like to welcome you back to Kokum Smoke Signals, and I'm here with Chrissy again, and and these are a couple of her dresses that she's designed on this very special project. So Chrissy, would you like to introduce your girls and tell us a little bit about your dresses?
Yes, so this is Wapshki Makwa. This is my daughter, and she's wearing Kijigukwe dress. So this dress is actually the first dress that we made, and it was made by me, my mom, my friend Jamie Black, and Patty Beardy. And we did this dress with ceremony. So we had a pipe Wabanangi Kwe out. We had it loaded the whole time, and we smoked the pipe after we were done with the dress, and then we put out food offerings. So this dress is actually meant to be a healing dress.
Oh, nice.
And so there's been quite a bit of girls that have worn this dress already, and a lot of the girls that have worn it have said that they felt the power of the dress.
Wow.
And the girls that have worn it were usually girls that were struggling in life and are now starting to do well, and I feel like that's how powerful this dress has become. And this is the highlight of all the dresses that we're going to make. The first woman, Kijigukwe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. Miigwech.
Okay, so and then this one here, this dress here is called Patience, and it was the women in my community that made the dress. And what's your name again?
Rain.
This is Rain. She's local here in Kenora, and so this is the dress Patience.
Beautiful.
Switch.
Thanks, Rain.
And this dress here was made by Evelyn, Rochelle, Tina.
Oh, and some young Megan, wasn't it? No.
Kiara.
Kiara, yes.
Yes. So
Kiara.
it was the ladies that made this dress here in Kenora, and this dress is called Mikinakikwe, and it's being worn by Megan Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to let you know, when we were, there was 4 of us girls that were working on this, and it was so interesting because it just flew. It flowed so well at making it, and one would say, "Hey, let's do this," and the other one would say, "Let's do this," and Kira did the little Mikanak there, and and it was, it just flowed.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
a lot of the dresses, like when we get the buckskin, they're already like in the shape of the dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just bringing them back to life, right?
Yeah.
And we appreciate the deer and for giving its life for us to make
Yeah.
these dresses, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful girls. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
Miigwech.
you. Yeah.
Miigwech.
So with the other dresses,
You
we
can go.
so you yeah. Come here, you girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xavier. So with this project, what we've been doing is collaborating with others, like with their designs. So like Evelyn, some of her designs are here. This is Evelyn, right?
Yep.
And this is
This
her independent.
Yeah.
This is Amanda Swain, her dress, and then that's one of my creations there, with the gold and. Yeah, and I feel like it's just like part of that healing again, working together, sewing together, and showcasing, Indigenous fashion. Like our theme was powwow fashion. So like, just to bring back the pride of, wearing our own clothing and making it a style, for our people
Our
again.
women, yes.
Yeah.
And our
to-
men.
And, to
our
be
men.
proud, yes.
Where's our
We-
man? So I like the fact too that this young lady made her own outfit. So there's a lot of young entrepreneurs that are coming out. We have another lady somewhere, but she's not here. But she made her own ribbon pants, right?
Yeah.
So that was pretty
And
pretty
for,
nice.
for our young guys.
Yep. Come on
Come,
over here.
Come forward, over
Come
here.
right here. Come right here.
Yeah, so for our young guys, to be proud to wear our clothing, our colors, and to help hold their heads up and to just show the world, that this is who we are, and I'm proud to be
Yes.
Indigenous and. Yeah.
To get the to get recognized the way that they deserve,
Yeah,
right?
yes,
right.
yes.
Instead of being so, like blue jeans or sweatpants or something like that. You all look really beautiful. Beautiful for sure. So So, Chrissy, anything else you would want to share? What about in the future? What you got planned in the future?
Well, in the future, everything's still like just the beginning stages. My goal is to eventually, bring workshops to communities, to help empower our women and our young men again, and to create more dresses, and to eventually having it to be a big teaching tool.
Yeah.
Yes, and to do it in a way, because we're competing with the internet, we're competing with music,
corporations,
and like society, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm hoping that it's a teaching tool for everybody, not just for our people, but also for the world, right? Because there's so much stereotyping out there that just from my own experience, you know, when I was a young person on the streets, you know, that I remember being called down a lot, and I really believed that that's who I was like that dirty Indian woman, you know, and I want to show that no, we're not. We're beautiful, we're powerful, we're resilient, and you know, we're more than, you know, what society has made us out to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautifully put. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah. So where's your, what are you going to be doing next?
So we're gonna be walking out on the streets and doing some photo shoots, and
okay, good.
possibly like trying on some dresses like with people that are out on the streets.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
because I want to do like I want to show people that like these women out there, you know, that you drive by and you don't see them, you know, or
Yeah.
like
Or you don't want to see
you
them.
don't want to see them yet, but
Yeah.
inside those women is a very strong, beautiful Anishinaabe woman.
Yes.
You know, they came from somewhere. They came from, they must have, you know, been at powwows, you know, they were probably a dancer as a child, they were probably in sweat lodges, you know, and so somewhere in there is that beautiful Anishinaabe kwe. So,
Yeah.
you know, when you drive by and you see them and you think, oh, you know, but
Yeah.
in reality, this is who they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it shows they're showing their trauma, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and we're showing our healing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a good way of helping our
Yeah.
women too.
Yeah.
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 For sure. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be interesting. That's
Yeah.
really going to be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so are you going to do that today?
Yeah, we're doing that today.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness!
Like when
Wow.
we're done here, we're
That's
heading out to the
exciting.
streets. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so maybe you can text me some pictures.
Yeah.
And then I can give them to our little camera lady there, and she can post them on my site.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so do you have any, you know, words of wisdom to give our young people, or, you know?
I think like what I would say is, you know, be proud of who you are and learn, you know, don't be afraid to like learn. See where I am at is only because I just did it, you know. What my husband always says is, you're a doer, you're not a don'ter.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, don't go ahead and wear your ribbon skirts and your ribbon shirts, you know, go to school in them and be proud, wear them with pride, and you know, wear your moccasins, you know, dress up
Yeah.
as, you know, like who you really are,
Yeah.
you know, and be proud of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes we, some of our people really, because of the trauma and what the residential schools has done, what the 60 Scoops has done, and now we're finding out, you know, these mass graves, right? And that's another trauma inflicted on our people, right?
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, with all this trauma, that our youth have been insecure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with this project, you know, and the collaboration you're doing with a lot of the youth entrepreneurs and other Indigenous designers in Kenora, I really, you know, I'm really proud of you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and I think a lot of times too that the girls sometimes feel insecure when they're just, you know,
And you know what? Just live out your dreams. You know, when I was a kid, I used to love playing fashion show.
Oh.
And when we
The Barbies?
yeah, when we did it yesterday,
Yeah.
I was just like, I was like, telling my friend Jamie, I was like, you know what? It's like I loved playing fashion show as a child, and I said, and now look at me. I said, I'm an adult and I'm still playing fashion show. I was like, and you're like the friend that came over to come play fashion show with me.
Oh, that's so
you
cute,
know,
eh?
so it's just like,
Yeah.
I'm 42 years old, and you know, I'm just doing the things that I've always loved doing.
Yeah.
And a part of that is healing that child too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. And I just want to, you know, just to thank you once more, you know, just so proud of you, what you're doing for our women, right? You know, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's the end of our little interview here. And I just want to say thank you to Miigwech, to Chrissy, and our beautiful models here. And, yeah, so hope to see you again. We'll probably be shooting more collaborations with Chrissy and fashion shows. Yeah, so thank you very much for joining us. And this is Wapshki Mikanakwe, and you are watching Kokum. Kokum's Up in Smoke. Bye. Or
Mama
adios.
Minwa.
Yeah.